true origin of the Skibidi toilets has been revealed. Today I will show you and explain all the secrets hidden in the new episode 70 part 2 of Skibidi Toilet, which you may not have noticed. This has become the second longest episode in the entire series and in my opinion the most epic and revealing of secrets. We have finally discovered the true origin of the Skibidi toilets and of DAFUQ Boom himself. In this video we will uncover things that literally change everything. I will explain everything that happened in this new episode about the secrets you may not have noticed and the hidden story that has been unfolding in Skibidi Toilet. What is their true origin? Who is DAFUQ Boom? What is the secret message that appears on the screen? And why is there a room with weapons of the Almighty? These and more secrets will be scandalized and explained today, so if you want to know about all this and more, stay until the end of the video. Not without 100 likes and everyone subscribing and activating the bell if you want more explanations and secrets from Skibidi Toilet. The true origin of DAFUQ Boom has been revealed. In the new episode 70 part 2 of Skibidi Toilet, at the beginning we saw the same scene that happened at the end of part 1, as this is obviously the continuation and exactly what we theorized happened. The roof was going to be destroyed, but the culprit seemed to be a cameraman. That was the first impression, but in reality this was the corpse of a cameraman being grabbed by a clamp of a Skibidi Toilet wearing a thief's mask. This Skibidi Toilet threw this cameraman who had a bomb strapped to his back, which exploded in front of the cameraman squad and also released an acid smoke, because in addition to being an explosive bomb, it also had toxic acid inside the barrel it carried on its back. This Skibidi took advantage of the distraction, jumped over a cameraman and pierced him with one of its clamps. The surviving cameraman and the other normal cameramen fired their paralyzing rays at the Skibidi Toilet, but they seemed not to work. This was because it wore a balaclava, making the paralyzing ray not make direct contact with the skin and not work. Also, this Skibidi had bombs attached around the barrel of toxic acid, so maybe they created this Skibidi with the intention of eliminating their enemies, and in case it was defeated, it would explode to kill those still alive. While this Skibidi had a cameraman pierced, it shot the other with the rocket launcher on its left arm, but this cameraman managed to Skibidi dodge just in time and kept shooting with the paralyzing ray, now aiming at the neck since the balaclava didn't cover that part. Then the dark speakerman shot his two knives directly into the eyes of the Skibidi, causing its head to tilt backward, exposing its neck, and now the paralyzing rays finally took effect, so the cameraman who was impaled had to make a difficult decision. He looked back at the POV plungerman to bid farewell, who was telling him not to do it. However, this cameraman chose to sacrifice himself, grabbed the Skibidi from one side and using his weight made it plunge into the elevator shaft created by the bomb of the cameraman launched at the beginning. This way the Skibidi Toilet and the cameraman fell into the abyss, and upon impact with the ground the explosive Skibidi Toilet detonated and both died instantly. F in the chat for this fallen soldier who just sacrificed himself to save his brothers. But this is just the beginning of the episode, and if you find it too epic, I invite you to like the video right now. Remember, if we reach 100 likes and everyone subscribes and activates the bell, I will bring more secrets and explanations of Skibidi Toilet. After this, the POV plungerman, in honor of his brother who just sacrificed himself, took up his weapon and carried it on his back. At that moment, the elevator started to shake because it was about to collapse, as two explosions had just occurred very close to it. Quickly, the dark speaker man grabbed the surviving cameraman and flew up to where the Skibidi Toilet came out to save themselves. The other normal cameraman ran to embrace the dark speaker man so that he could also save him, while the POV plunger man was not going to wait for help. On his own, he started doing parkour and climbing the wall using claws he could extend from his hands, similar to Wolverine. It's worth mentioning that the POV plungerman is not the only one who can extend claws from his hands. I recently noticed that in episode 65, the camera titan could also extend these claws. This could mean that more experienced or more powerful cameramen can unlock this ability to extend claws. In theory, all cameramen have this hidden ability, but only the most powerful and skilled can unlock it. Similar to how the TV man could draw a knife from his hand as seen in episode 56, the POV plungerman managed to save himself before the elevator fell, and when he was about to reach the top, the dark speakerman offered him his hand to help him climb. However, plungerman was still angry, rejected the invitation, and chose to climb alone. At the top, the surviving cameraman, a bit dirty due to the recent disaster, was looking at his tablet indicating where to go. So they started heading in that direction, moving stealthily as there were Skibidi toilets with flashlights and rocket launchers guarding the area. The cameramen had to turn off their flashlights to avoid detection and activated their night vision to see clearly in the darkness. They reached a hatch with the SKIBIDI Toilets logo, and suddenly the light turned on, exposing them and putting them at risk of being attacked by the SKIBIDI Toilets. Quickly, the survivor hacked the hatch with his device and the whole squad entered. On screens, they saw a text that read testing laboratory, and below it a strange code that said C33 exclamation mark. What could this code mean? I've been investigating and I haven't found anything, but if you happen to discover it, I invite you to write it down in the comments below so that you can be featured in an upcoming video. The surviving cameraman closed the door behind him with his device so that the SKIBIDI Toilets couldn't pass. However, one of them fired a rocket, causing POV Plungerman to see blurry for a moment as he was almost hit by the explosion. Then the survivor hacked another door, opened it, and they crossed through. He closed the door just in time to prevent other SKIBIDI Toilets from catching up. The survivor then indicated the direction they had to go because here was the mysterious door that he managed to open, and they reached what could be the most important room in the entire series. As soon as they entered, the survivor closed the door so that the SKIBIDI wouldn't follow and they could investigate everything more calmly. In this place, there were several display cases with artifacts exhibited as if they were trophies. In one display case, there was a knife possibly belonging to a significant speaker man. In another, a spear, and there was also a tentacle similar to the ones the scientific SKIBIDI had. Above it, there was a giant knife that could only belong to some titan. However, it doesn't belong to the titan speaker because the knives he used are silver, as seen in episode 67. The other individual who also used knives was the TV titan when he shot one at the scientific SKIBIDI in the same episode. However, that knife had a curved shape with a kind of half ring on the handle, so it couldn't be his. Whose titan does this knife displayed in this mysterious room belong to? And more importantly, why is this knife here in the SKIBIDI Toilets laboratory? Everything seems very suspicious, especially when right next to the knife there is a Jin camera of the type that has a shotgun microphone. This camera couldn't belong to any cameraman or grand cameraman. Undoubtedly, it should belong to some titan or even could have belonged to some giant SKIBIDI. However, it doesn't seem to be the case. On the side is the old cannon that the titan speaker used the first time he was hacked. The last time he used it was against the TV titan in episode 47. However, when the titan speaker reappeared in episode 56, he already had other cannons, so the SKIBIDI probably stored the old cannon here after he changed it. However, the strangest and most disturbing thing is what is just above this cannon. It's a giant left hand making the like gesture as if it were the hand of the camera titan. But how is it possible that this is his hand if the last time we saw him, he lost the right hand, not the left? If we remember in episode 65, we saw how he made the like gesture with his left hand because he lost the right. So whose left hand is this here? The truth is that it is his left hand, but it was the one he lost in episode number 20 when he faced the SKIBIDI Toilet, grabbed a shield, and was then hit by the SKIBIDI tank. There we saw how he lost that left hand, and since then the SKIBIDI Toilets recovered it and have it in this trophy room. Here we can also see one of the speakers that the TV Titan ripped off the speaker Titan in episode 45. There are also sunglasses that are likely for the SKIBIDI G Toilets clones. However, the most impactful discovery is what we find on this desk and above it. POV Plungerman approaches a document with an image of the scientific SKIBIDI and the Astro Toilet. The document is written in the language of the SKIBIDI Toilets as it simply repeats the SKIBIDI Dub Dub Yes Yes song and similar phrases. Perhaps this is some treaty between the SKIBIDI and the Astro Toilets, or maybe it's a report on what has happened since they separated. Regardless, we won't be able to understand it because we don't speak the language of the SKIBIDI. If any of you understand the language of the SKIBIDI Toilets, please translate this document and share it in the comments below. Then POV Plungerman looks up at a poster that tells an incredible story. In the image, we can see DAFUQ himself shaking hands with scientists, possibly the ones who created the SKIBIDI Toilets. What the heck is happening here? We carefully read everything on this poster because it contains a major revelation that literally changes everything. It shares a new story that says Alpha Hills Laboratories have a new administrators. This is the name of this laboratory, and it makes sense as it contains the word hills, suggesting it is hidden among hills or mountains. The news also states the government-sponsored underground laboratory has assigned a new administrator. The details and reasons reasons for the agreement are kept secret. In other words, this laboratory was originally created by the government of this country as an underground secret project, and now a new administrator has been appointed. The rest of the details are kept secret, but in the photo we could see that DAFUQ Boom is the new administrator of this laboratory. This means that all this time the true leader of the laboratory that created the SKIBIDI toilets was DAFUQ Boom. Although there is a slight possibility that perhaps the new administrator was the other person DAFUQ Boom was shaking hands with, and maybe DAFUQ was a government envoy welcoming this new administrator. However, it is more likely the other way around, and DAFUQ is indeed the new administrator and the person shaking hands is the former administrator or someone welcoming DAFUQ to this new position. But there's still something stranger. In this photo in the top right corner, a date is visible, February 7th, 1979. This means many years ago. But in what era is the entire SKIBIDI toilet series based? In real life, we are currently in 2024, but the series might be set in the 2000s or 1990s. To discover this, we would have to analyze the most technologically advanced elements we have seen in the series to roughly determine the time frame. Now that all the vehicles we've seen destroyed in the cities are old cars, we might be able to determine the year in which SKIBIDI toilet is set by looking at the creation of flat screens seen in the SKIBIDI toilets. However, flat screens were created before 1979, although they became popular later. What could give us a clue is the tablets used by the cameraman. The first tablet, similar to the one seen in the series, was announced in 2001. This suggests that SKIBIDI toilet is set in 2001 or later. If that's the case, it means the image on the poster was taken at least 22 years before the moment POV Plungerman is observing it. However, we might actually be in 2010 or 2020, but it's not confirmed yet. For now, let's say we are in the year 2001 in the SKIBIDI toilet series. This is strange because DAFUQ Boom looks just as young in the photo as he does now, which means he hasn't aged in the last 22 years. Perhaps the DAFUQ Boom we've seen isn't the real one, but maybe a hologram artificial intelligence or something similar. Regardless, another crucial detail is the day and month of the photo, which is February 7th. This is the exact same date the first episode of SKIBIDI Toilet was released, on February 7, 2023 in real life. However, within the series, it is set in 2001 or later. We are gradually uncovering more information, such as the revelation that DAFUQ Boom was the administrator and head of the laboratory where the SKIBIDI toilets were created. This changes everything because now we understand how DAFUQ Boom had the device he gave to the surviving cameraman to hack the doors and open them. This is because DAFUQ Boom was the administrator of this place and could control the doors. We also understand how the tablet used by the survivor can view the security cameras of this laboratory. DAFUQ Boom gave it to him because during his time here, he could monitor the security cameras as he practically owned the place. So DAFUQ Boom is the true mastermind behind the creation of the SKIBIDI toilets. It's possible that the creation of SKIBIDI toilets was accidental. In summary, this is a secret laboratory created by the government, hidden underground in the mountains. They assigned a new head or administrator, DAFUQ Boom, and due to poor decisions or external factors, the experiments went wrong, accidentally creating SKIBIDI toilets. Some of them were previously scientists working here. In the image, DAFUQ Boom is shaking hands with the individual who became the first SKIBIDI toilet. His face is the one seen in SKIBIDI Toilet 1. The person behind DAFUQ Boom seems to be SKIBIDI scientist from episode 68 part 2. The other scientists around them likely also turned into SKIBIDI toilets. The failed experiments went out of control and the SKIBIDI toilets took over the laboratory, killing all scientists and humans nearby. DAFUQ Boom had to escape to survive, and that's how the invasion of SKIBIDI toilets on planet Earth began. But then where do the Speaker Man, Dark Speaker Man, and TV Titan come from? Could it be that they were also created in this laboratory? This would explain the presence of a knife from a great Speaker Man, as well as the vitrines with jetpacks and headphones used by the cameraman. However, this cannot be confirmed yet. What we do know now is the true origin of the SKIBIDI toilets and the real origin of DAFUQ Boom. It seems that DAFUQ's true objective is to reach a crucial location within this laboratory where something might help him regain control and put an end to the SKIBIDI toilet invasion. This could be his true mission, and that's why he assigned the mission to the surviving cameraman to infiltrate the laboratory, guiding him to the right path, as DAFUQ was the administrator before and knows where to go. Perhaps the surviving cameraman's mission was to recover an object that could help destroy the laboratory or disable the SKIBIDI toilets or something something similar. The strange thing about all this is that when POV Plungerman turns to look at the surviving cameraman, he's holding a book with the logo of a television. Behind him, Dark Speakerman is looking at the jetpack, headphones, and lens of the cameraman as if these items were trophies. Could it be that they created all these devices here? Or did the Skibidi toilet store them here? And what does this strange book hide? Could it contain the story and origin of the TV Titans? It's possible that the Skibidi toilet stole all these things, including the TV man's books, to improve themselves and equip themselves with camera, speaker, and television parts. This makes more sense, although when the surviving cameraman saw this book, he showed it to Plungerman, saying he doesn't understand why it's there. There's even another book, and the surviving cameraman still can't comprehend it. Suddenly, he is impaled by a tentacle thrown against the glass vitrines. This episode is packed with action and is becoming more epic. If you're enjoying it, give it a like right now. Remember that if we reach 100 likes, I'll bring you more secrets and leaks from Skibidi Toilet. Subscribe and activate the notification bell to be among the first to see those videos. The Skibidi that just threw the surviving cameraman has wheels, a screen, and tentacles. The other normal cameraman is shooting the paralyzing beam, but the Skibidi activated the red light power to force the cameramen to kill themselves. Here we discover how the cameramen see when this red light power is activated. A subliminal message appears in their lenses, and if we pause the video, we can see that it says "End yourself," meaning end your own life. But POV Plungerman and the other normal cameraman raise their hands to grab their heads and try to detach them from their bodies. Fortunately, Dark Speakerman threw himself against the normal cameraman to prevent this, but he had to let him go to save Plungerman. He turned him around so that he no longer saw this red light and took advantage of the moment to put on the protective lens that his friend, the great cameraman, gave him in episode 68 before dying. Even after death, the great cameraman continues to help Plungerman. This good friend, when he got up, he realized that Dark Speakerman had been caught by the Skibidi's tentacles, and the normal cameraman tore off his head since Dark Speakerman couldn't save him in time because he had to choose and saved Plungerman. Pay respects for this fallen soldier. Now, something very interesting happened here, and I'd like to discuss it with you. Every time I've seen a cameraman lose their head in addition to electric rays, it seems like a bluish green smoke comes out, but it doesn't seem to be electricity. Could it be their soul leaving their body when they die? This would explain why we saw two ghost cameramen at the end of the previous episode, because those were their souls after they died. This might suggest that the cameramen are androids, and when they die, their souls exit their bodies. However, there's something contradictory to this, and it's that the camera doctors can reattach the head to the cameraman and revive them. But if the soul has already left, what happens in that case? Maybe they can't bring them back to life, as we saw at the end of episode 69, where a camera doctor couldn't revive a normal cameraman. In other words, some cameramen can be revived and others cannot, depending on how they lose their heads. It depends on how they were attacked. Their soul may leave their body or still remain inside until they are revived. I invite you to share your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. The Skibidi was beating and trying to rip the speaker head off Dark Speakerman, but Plungerman threw him a small S-Compua, destroying his screen so he couldn't attack anymore. Then, using the weapon he had stored on his back, which belonged to the first cameraman who died in this episode, he shot the Skibidi in the eyes, leaving him completely blind. This helped Dark Speakerman to get up and attack him with his sound power, allowing Plungerman to take the plunger and throw it at the Skibidi's face, killing him instantly. Once again, Dark Speakerman and Plungerman become a good team, although this Speakerman is severely injured and even the right part of his headphones is damaged. Plungerman thanks him for saving him, and POV looks at the surviving cameraman who is unconscious on the ground with a wound in his back caused when the Skibidi pierced him with the tentacle. A Plungerman grabs the device that the survivor had before to now hack and open closed doors. Next to the survivor on the ground is the damaged tablet he used before, broken and with a blue screen. Also, there's the rifle he used and the protective lens that was previously in the glass showcase. Suddenly, Dark Speakerman destroyed one of the back showcases to grab a spear and use it as a weapon. Plungerman had the idea to do the same. He grabbed the headphones and jetpack from the showcases and equipped himself to be better protected. Strangely, he didn't lift the survivor cameraman or make sure he was dead, perhaps assuming he was dead or maybe not liking him. Plungerman already distrusted him. Either way, it's doubtful he died, and he will probably return in a future episode where it's revealed that he was a traitor all along, secretly working for the lab boss where the Skibidi toilets were created. Now, only only POV Plungerman and Dark Speakerman remain, advancing through the lab to reach the SKIBIDI scientist. In fact, the episode description hints that the squad is getting closer to the scientist. We don't know what will happen next, but the brave duo will use the device to open all necessary doors until they reach the scientist and finally put an end to the evil SKIBIDI toilets. If there was at least one secret in this video that you hadn't noticed in the episode, I challenge you to like the video right now. Remember, if we reach 100 likes, I'll bring you more secrets and explanations of new SKIBIDI toilet episodes. Subscribe and activate the notification bell to be among the first to watch. I am George Isaac 115. See you in the next episode. Greetings to everyone and goodbye.